So, so imagine if I'm back with the pretzels and it's good. It's yeah.
Oh, sorry, Maurice. I'm just dropping off the rent. I rang it by accident.
Okay. So imagine if Romy brought me the pretzels and it's good, right? It's like a skinny pretzel, but pretzels have to be handed from a certain way to be a skinny pretzel because imagine this drink is big, but if you it's a color, so it's a favorite color, you see. So if you touch a mold, you won't eat no more. But imagine if someone bought you something and it could be 1,000. It's about 15 pretzels, $15, 15 M&Ms. But what if you wanted to be like just a few? But then when you relate it to a bag of a time frame, everything in it related to a boundary where you don't want pretzels to relate to anything outside the winter, Christmas, but it could relate inside the summer at a certain time when it's good to get a handout. But if it's a collection, if I go to sleep, if I get like a Game Boy, it should be a tangible technology versus an SD card will be a debit. You see. So eventually, if it's a lot of pieces in here, like it's many pieces, but if it's like you don't want people saying, "Oh, I get all the pieces," you see, because it tends to be people think it's funny, but it's like what if this was worth $1 million per pretzel, but then you took it out the boundary that it was from, as it was skinny, not formed from the bag, and then put it in a different boundary related to a different a collection of things that's inside of that frame. You see. Before, you mix this with the red and this, and it's in the same thing that she got because it's like a Wendy's. So, but it's like it's American restaurant. You see, so it's like imagine if like people were saying there's nobody in the world, but when I was eating Wendy's, it was already existing in the world before Virginia. Before I went back to 2002, before 2020, and I went back to 2007 after 2017. Because when you put two things in a boundary, you have to distinguish from an SD and two items versus one item SD, and two items versus a SIM card, when one could be ancient history and have a different definition around it than something that relates to my life when people were trying to release video, trying to get the best of me in Google, claiming that he couldn't get paid because you try to do a free-for-all saying that there was no law in the coronavirus. Because you claim you try to put a boundary on him, saying that it was inhumane when he got humiliated, taking his clothes off in the hospital. But you claim that you're a virgin and want to be seen because you claim that you want to come out and tell people that it's not true because nobody was after you. When you got offended when he changed the world, but now you can come out and say you're a bitch again and tell people that you don't exist. Because nobody was after your crybaby ass when you try to scratch and complain when he's going to get paid because he outplayed you instead of you telling people you never existed. So imagine if one pretzel stick is like a calorie, but it's also a side. But I don't want to have a rush of emotion, so I eat three, but it's still in the same boundary where I got it, and it kind of relates to no new thing. I kind of break it up, chop it up, so that it's in the boundary of a emotion. So that it's only pretzels only have emotion around edge of town. But the drink is good. But keep in mind, what if you didn't eat for 1,000 days, but you had a bag of pretzels with 1,000 pieces, and you didn't even know which date related to 1,000 years before you didn't eat 1,000 days? You wouldn't even know. You see? So if I make my life in Google and eBay, it's of life, also of feelings that I feel when I drink and I sing, and then people will get angry because now you want to tell people it's not fair that when Romy brought this, it was so beautiful. She could bring a thing from the Dollar Tree and it could be worth $1 million because when you have a sister, you want to make sure that she looks pretty and right so that people see the difference. Say, damn, that's why he was eating green eggs and ham and putting eggs and butter and ham in the thing, because it's like my mom, she used to cook good, but then somebody was having children, it started being a fucking mess. And you'd be like, man, I wish I could get my old